Hey there, and welcome back. We are so thrilled and excited and grateful to have you here with us today, and for taking the time to spend time with us. We know that there are so many different things that you could be doing right now. And so choosing to spend some time with us really just makes our hearts full. So thank you for being here. And with that, I want to say welcome back, Anna. And in today's episode, it's a bit of a continuation to our last episode that we did on inflammation. If you haven't heard that podcast episode, no worries, this will be just fine on its own. But if you'd like to go back to the show and press play on that particular episode, please do. I think it was very informative, and I think you're going to like it. So you could head back and listen to that one after you listen to this one. So again, welcome back. We are talking about inflammation and how to reduce inflammation. We talked about inflammation and how it fuels chronic disease and visceral fat and a lot of things that you just undermine your health, that undermine your health and that don't help you in your goals of living an optimized life. So, Anna, I'm going to throw it over to you. What would you like to say about our introduction to our second part of inflammation?
Welcome back, beautiful person. You are here with us, and we are very grateful, like Mary said, on our first episode, which is independent but is also a foundation for this one. You could listen, or you have listened, about inflammation, visceral fat, and how it is a major root of chronic disease that the world is facing right now: obesity, diabetes type 2, diabetes type 3, dementia, prediabetes, and so many other chronic diseases that you could reverse by taking action daily with strategies that are simple and that you just have to say yes to them and choose your heart. And your heart is to choose to act now, so your life in the future, as you are growing older, will be easier and more comfortable and much more joyful. With that, Mary is going to start talking about our strategies on reversing inflammation and building a functional, independent body to enjoy the optimal and optimized health and life that you deserve by living with grace. Let's go, Mary. Let's dive in.
Okie dokie. Okay, so in terms of inflammation, again, it's quite the buzzword these days. Everyone's talking about inflammation, and I think the good news is that the strategies for reducing inflammation and reversing visceral fat are a lot of them are really, I think, obvious when you think about optimizing your health. So the first one, of course, that comes to mind right away is what you put in your mouth, is your nutrition. And you can make really big strides there. Yes, does it take a little bit of tweaking or a little bit of effort in the beginning? Yes, it does. But I'm here to tell you, and I believe this with all my heart, that with a little bit of time and a little bit of tweaking and finding the foods that really serve you, it's a trade-off that you'll be absolutely willing to make and happy that you made it. So some of the things that pop into mind when I think about uh, reducing inflammation right off the bat would be fruits and vegetables, right? So you want the polyphenols from your greens and from your fruit, and ideally some of the lower sugar fruits are really best, like berries versus say pineapple. But all in all, you want to make choices that are low in sugar, but high in all of the essential vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E. So yes, your fruits and vegetables. The second one, which I love talking about, would be omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3s, when you think of eggs and I think the really one that's very common would be wild-caught salmon is really rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Then you have your chia seeds, which I love. I add them to so many different things. Flaxseed, sardines, your oily fish, again, wild-caught salmon, and hemp seeds, walnuts. Those are all omega-3 fatty acids, and they are really so heart healthy. They're healthy for your brain, and they reduce inflammation. So the omega-3 fatty acids. Fiber is huge. Fiber is so important to your gut health, where again, where inflammation begins, and you need the fiber in your digestive tract. So you need to strive for at least 25 grams of fiber, if not more. And I would suggest sort of taking a little bit of a tally, start trying to see, look at the back of your packages and look up on Google what is the fiber content of the food you're eating, and try to add it up, see if you're getting close to 25 grams. You can always tweak that, but with more fiber rich foods. So strive for 25 grams of fiber. You want to minimize, get as close to zero as possible on your processed foods and sugar. Sugar is so inflammatory, because that's no surprise there. And again, I think that if you were to, for one day even, take a look at the nutritional content of the foods that you're eating. Is there added sugar to what you're normally eating? See if you can find an alternative. You'd be really surprised at the differences between common products at the grocery store. I mean, you can find ketchup that has, I don't know, I think it's like 10 grams of sugar, or you can find ketchup with no added sugar. So that's what you want to do. I mean, you'd be surprised that there's sugar in bread, and why there is sugar in bread, I really don't know. But so I'm encouraging you to check the packages, check the nutritional content of what you're eating. Is it processed? Does it have added sugar? How much fiber is in it? And make the choices that are going to support your goals, which is to reduce inflammation and consequently visceral fat, and optimize your health. So also, I would say vitamin D supplementation is hugely important. I would love it if you could get all the vitamin D naturally from the sun, but that is really hard to do. So I think supplementing with a good vitamin D supplement might be something you want to look at. But there's a caveat. I think that you really need to have your vitamin D levels checked twice a year, because you want to know where you are. You want to know if you are deficient, or if you are high in vitamin D. Ideally, you want to be around 80 to 100. I use, or that's not the measurement, but 80 to 100 in your blood work. So vitamin D3, along with vitamin K2 to absorb the D3 is really important. So those are huge, along with magnesium rich foods, your leafy greens, very important. Magnesium is huge because it affects over 400 different metabolic processes in your body. When you think of magnesium, it is the relaxation, it relaxes your blood, relaxes your muscles and your heart muscle, and all of the, what am I trying to say, Anna? All of the
Arteries,
yeah, arteries, it helps
circulation.
everything to flow very smoothly. And when I think of magnesium, I think of sort of the peaceful supplement. It helps things to flow. And so magnesium is hugely important. And low carb, very low carbs. We don't need refined carbohydrates for sure. So make healthy choices when you're looking at your carbs. And again, alcohol is important. You have to make good choices where that's concerned in terms of inflammation. So I feel like I threw a lot out there, but I think I just want to encourage you to think healthy and try to make the healthiest choices that you can. Again, reducing sugar is huge. Sugar is in everything, and I guess I can't stress that enough. Yeah, so I think that is pretty much the broad brushstroke with nutrition. So, Anna.
Yeah. Yes. So Mary said something really important regarding nutrition, because what you are adding to your body through food is what is the fuel that will lead to your fat cells and your liver and your pancreas to be overload. And that's what we discussed in the first episode. Like, that's one of the major reasons that will lead to elevated blood sugar, elevated insulin resistance, inflammation, and this snowball effect that just keeps you inflamed and chronically you a lot. So, and I do understand that some of you, or many of you, including me, myself, sometimes I had this thought, might think, oh, what you are telling us to eat might be expensive. So I just want to throw here some three phrases that I heard and I kept in my heart because I thought it was very interesting. And when Mary was talking, I thought about them. You have to choose your hard, right? So either you're going to spend money with your farmer or you're going to spend money with the pharmacy. You have to choose that. The other one is you could spend money with your wellness or you're going to spend money with your illness. And that's something that I really think about all the time. And the major one that I hear from my mentor, my doctor, my friend, Dr. Sean O'Mara, you could Google him too, is your body is your major asset. You are not going to live an optimal life if your body is ill. So do not see your life and your health as an expense. Your life and your health are your major investments. So whenever you think that something might be expensive, that's the most precious gift you are giving to you, because it's your health and your life, right? It's your body, your major asset, the vessel for your soul, alignment of body, mind, and spirit.
There you go. And I would just add, and I'm going to disagree because I don't think it's that hard. Don't, I think that I don't think it's that hard. And I don't want you to tell yourself, anybody who's listening, that it's hard. It's a choice. And I think Anna, I'm teasing, of course, but you laid it out perfectly. I mean, it may be challenging to get started, but I think that the again is the trade-off is so well worth it, because even before you begin to see the long-term results that you may be looking for, you're going to get the smaller wins that are not insignificant, but you're going to start to feel so much better almost right away, within really,
Absolutely.
when you stop eating sugar, within 24 hours, you are going to notice a difference. If you're a big sugar hound and you stop eating sugar, and you may experience a bit of withdrawal, but or not, but you may. But once you have sugar out of your life, you will feel better. And so the pros so outweigh the cons that I'm
Yeah.
just going to not say. I'm going to say it's not hard.
Yes. So again, yeah. Well, it is not hard, but it's a change. So I advocate for you guys to invest in your health, because you are investing in life, in quality of life, because much more. Uh, some people want to live longer, But, and I agree, that's awesome to live longer. But in my mind, since my husband died from cancer in 2016, I believe that the amount of years we are going to live are kind of numbered by God, by the universe, by the higher power. However, I want to say, if you go for increasing longevity, I'm all for it. But on the other hand, it's not only about quantity for me, it's mainly about quality. So do everything you can in your power with your choices and your mindset and your behavior to make the quantity of years you have of great quality, because that's what you want. You want to be
Agreed.
living and enjoying your life, living with grace, right? So so get your food in the edges of the in the perimeter of the grocery store. Get your cheeses, your fermented vegetables, your fruits and vegetables. Get your kefir. Get your good quality of eggs, pasture raised. Get good quality of meat, preferably grass fed, grass finished. So do what is important for your health. And on that, I want to go and say that there are things that you're going to save money and you could do it for free from the universe, like the sun.
You know what,
You have,
can I just say one thing? I just want people to know, if they're listening, that also, when we talk about the perimeter of the grocery store, that's where all the fresh food is, all the refrigerated food. And so in the center of the grocery store is all the boxes, the bags, the cans. And the reason why they're in boxes and bags and cans is because they are generally, most of the time, really loaded with preservatives so that they can have an extended shelf life. So when Anna says shop the perimeter, she's encouraging you to shop the fresh produce, the fresh meat, everything that's the fresh foods that are as close to nature as possible. That's what we're trying to do, is eat as closely to what's on the farm, or as close to nature, food in its natural state as
yeah,
possible. So anyway, I
yeah,
just wanted to throw that in there.
awesome. That's great. That's great. And on like after you spend money buying good food, you go outside and spend some time on the sun. The sun is something really amazing that the universe gives to us every single day. The sun regulates your sleep, your circadian rhythm. The sun regulates the production of hormones and neurotransmitters that are important to maintain your body healthy: growth hormone, melatonin, um, insulin, cortisol. Everything is regulated by the sun together with your sleep. The sun allows your body to produce more nitric oxide, which is very important for the circulation, the vascularization in your body, which is good to reversing inflammation. So it has been proven, there are lots of researches showing that if you look at the sunrise and at the sunset for 3 minutes without any barrier, no glasses, no doors, no windows, sunrise and sunset for 3 minutes daily, you are going to improve your sleep and you're going to improve the quality of your energy and your mental health and your mood during the day. Be mindful though. When I say look at the sunrise or the sunset, you don't want to burn your eye, you don't want to burn your retina. So whenever you look at the sun and it hurts your eye, that's not the time for you to look at the sun anymore. You should look at the sun when it's low, still low in the sky, up to 45 degrees, when it's not going to hurt your eye, because you want the benefits of the sun. You don't want to get blind from burning your retina. So sunrise and sunset. Another very important thing is the sunshine, especially now that we are spring and summer, but even during the winter. If you could go outside, especially maybe during the winter that we have the blue depression because of lack of light, right? Whenever you could go, stop when you have 10 minutes, stop for 10 minutes in your work, or 15 minutes, your lunch break. Just go outside and enjoy the sun on your skin for 15 minutes, and while you're doing that, you are producing vitamin D, but you are mainly acting on your sleep and acting on your mood and all the other things that I just said. So it's for free. Every day you have the sun, enjoy the sun, and Do not be afraid of skin cancer for that, because the amount of time you're going to be there enjoying the sun is not going to be overwhelming, right? So enjoy the
And you're there
sun.
when the sun isn't as it's strong as it's at the sunrise and the sunset, early and late, you know.
Yes. And what I tell myself, and Mary is going to bring as a next topic and next strategy, what I tell myself is I love stacking my habits. I love stacking my strategies. So when I am eating healthy, I'm also having the supplements, and I'm also having good quality of water. When I'm having the sun, I'm also getting my steps, and I'm also doing grounding, and I am also working on the sleep. So, Mary, that's all on you. Walking. I do walk every day. I do walk my 10,000 steps plus, and my walking has become, and I'm not going to discuss technique because this is for Mary, but my walking has become my mental crutch, my mental resource, my mental instrument that keeps me really aligned and grounded, because in the beginning, I hated walking. I was a very sedentary person. Again, it all started my changes with my dad dying, and I said that in the first episode. And after I started and I got to 10,000 steps, and it took me 3 months to get to 10,000 steps because I was very sedentary. Probably I would walk 500 steps a day. But anyway, I got to 10,000 steps after 3 months of started walking. And now I do 10,000 steps every day since, and I have never stopped. And I am saying that not to brag on anyone, because again, I did not like to walk. And now walking is where I find my joy. Walking is where I find my peace. Walking is where I stack other habits like the sun or grounding. Walking is when I connect, or I listen to a podcast, or I keep increasing my knowledge and my faith. I read my Bible when I'm walking. Walking is when I tell myself that my word is meaningful, that I'm keeping my word to me. And when I tell myself that I'm keeping my word to me, I'm doing something that it's really important, and I invite you to do it for you. Keep your word to yourself, because that's when you build trust, that's when you build confidence, that's when you build self-love, self-care, and that's when you know that you get your back, that you take care of yourself. So walking has become that for me. And Mary is going to talk about walking, which is one of my passions now.
Yeah, mine too. And I think that you hit on a couple of really great points there, Anna, in terms of keeping that commitment to yourself so that you know that you can trust yourself, because if you can trust yourself, there's so much confidence that comes from that. So that's another
Yep.
added bonus there. But yes, walking is very funny. I've shared this before. I've been, exercise in general has been huge in my life since the time I was about 10 or 12. And it's been I guess it's been my crutch as well. So helpful. But I've never been a walker. I've never been a walker until recently. My husband sometimes we would go for a walk, and I would go because my husband wants to walk, and I'm want to do something with him. So I'm trying to be supportive. And
Hacking strategies.
yeah, exactly. But
Yes.
yeah, I want to say something more about the stacking strategies. But it was never enjoyable for me. And then as I've gotten older, I've always been a runner. I get that quick endorphin release from running, and I've always loved running. I just didn't feel like I had the patience to walk. And I share that, again, not to, for some reason in my mind, running was better, and it's just not. I think that there's a lot of evidence that's come out in research, especially for women who are of my age or women in menopause, something more like a zone 2 walking. We'll talk more about that as we get going, in future podcasts. But walking, for your bone density and for, as a workout in a zone 2 level, where you're still able to talk, maybe not being able to sing, but being able to talk and walk is, so much better for you because of the cortisol also, because I was always, you got to run and I would feel really good. But then sometimes I think there was a cortisol release and I wouldn't maybe sleep as well that night sometimes as I got older. So one of the things that I really loved doing is walking with a weighted vest again. And I do that, for the bone density and for my bones, and the added weight is good for my muscles and to prevent scarapina. And it's very helpful for me to walk with a weighted vest. So I'm strength training and walking is strength training, but extra weight is good. But I love, so back to the stacking. What I love, and this is maybe a bit of a tip too, because I think that I have I have gotten, so I look so forward to walking because really it is either a walking meditation time for me, or it's a time when I get to listen to a podcast, or I know people who listen to a novel, a audio novel, and they'll walk. So, I mean, if you have the next chapter that you're anxious to get to, that's motivation to go out and walk. And you're getting not only the endorphins and the happy hormones from the movement, but you're also getting the release and the enjoyment that you're from listening to your podcast or your novel. So that's another win-win. So I love that. And the other thing that yeah, so walking, I have, so now I'm kind of with Anna, and I have to give kudos to Anna too, because I was sort of in this in between where I was kind of walking more, kind of feeling obligated to walk more. But there's Anna, my friend on social media, talking about how she's walking every day, 10,000 steps. And, I'm not sedentary, so I am walking around, but I haven't really, wasn't walking outside, and I wasn't really getting the official steps. But now that I do that, I look so forward to it and I love it. And I, put on my weighted vest. So I'm getting, again, that's another stacking habit. And so walking has become just a love of mine too. So yeah, get an audiobook
Amen.
and get out there.
Amen. Amen. And there are no excuses when you make the decision because your why is really grounded in your heart and your soul. I walk inside my house when it's raining or when it's snowing and when it's super cold, like minus whatever. So you just find a way and you're going to walk. And I
I've
walked
been
when
on
I
the
was
phone with
sick.
Anna before when she's been walking around her house. I think maybe that was with her, maybe the first time. She said, "Oh, I'm just walking. Hope that's okay." And so I was walking. I'm like, "Gosh, that's so inspiring."
Yeah.
So
I do. I do walk in my phone when I'm talking, or I do walk in Zoom meetings with my laptop on my hand. I just take my time and I walk. I don't really sit to talk anymore. On that level, I think it's really important what Mary said, that walking allows decreasing cortisol. Yes, indeed it does. Walking is very important because it allows the better utilization of blood sugar in your muscles. So then it decreases the insulin and decreases cortisol. And that's one thing that I'm going to bring as a tip too, that a friend of mine who is an endocrinologist told me. Whenever you have a meal, if you walk for 15 minutes after your meal, so finish your meal and go for a walk with your husband. It's a good time for connection and talk and bonding and holding hands, or just venting, because people say that when you have an argument that you are walking, it's easier to solve it. So yeah, if you need to solve an argument, go for a
or other
walk.
tough conversations, right? Because you're walking your head, you don't have to like
Yeah.
get to eyeball to eyeball. So
Exactly.
get out there.
So, yes, exactly. So after a meal, it's really interesting that if you make time for you, just walk for 15 minutes. It doesn't need to be fast paced. Just walk for 15 minutes, 1 5, and you're going to improve the utilization of blood sugar. You're going to avoid the blood sugar spike. And if you avoid the blood sugar spike, you are avoiding the insulin spike, then you are preventing your inflammation of getting worse and you are helping your body and your health. And Mary said something really important too. that walking is good for your bones and is good for your muscles. And on that, I'm going to get the hook and I'm going to move forward. We are going to talk about strength training. So strength training is something really important, especially for us menopause women. Strength training has the same effects. Strength training decreases the cortisol. Strength training builds muscle. Strength training improves bone density. Strength training when you are working. Oh, walking, I forgot that. Walking, you are exercising a lot your calf muscles, and there are people talking right now in researches that your calf muscles are the muscles of your heart. So they allow you to improve your blood flow. Think of me. You need something. Your blood is flowing from your heart to your brain up and to everything down, right? Especially your lower extremities. So who is responsible for bringing your blood up again? Your calves, the muscles of your calves. So they pump that and they improve venous return and they improve blood flow and cardiac output, and you are getting better circulation on your whole body when you are walking because you are exercising your calves, the
Who
muscles
knew?
for your heart. Exactly. So it's really, really amazing. And then you're going to improve your varicosities. You're going to improve your spider veins, which are the reddish veins. So everything is one thing that I think that it's amazing in our body. It's that a little thing here connects to a little thing there, connects to a little thing there, and all the body connects itself, and you are just healing throughout,
What's
right?
the
From head
song?
to toe.
Your knee bones connected to your sing. There's a
Yeah.
song. There's a song.
Yes,
So
I love that. I love that. So strength training. And if you check Dr. Forgot Gabrielle Lyon, Gabrielle Lyon. She talks about that all the time about your muscles when you are building muscles, and there are researches that prove that your muscles are related to your brain and your brain cognition and your brain memory. So when you are exercising your muscles, you are also preventing dementia. You are also preventing Alzheimer's. So yes,
wow.
everything we do is connected, and everything, these little strategies that sometimes you feel like, I really don't want to do that today. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Do not do that. You go and do it because then you're keeping your word, you're building trust, you're building confidence, you are working on your brain, you are working on your muscles, you are working on your memory. And one thing that is really good too that I do is work out while you are still fasting because you're going to burn even more glucose. So get your fasting windows developed slowlier. You don't want to get overwhelmed with fasting because it's not a tool to bring more stress and more cortisol. It's something for you to build over time. So then you're going to improve your memory with more clarity. You're going to use glucose better. You're going to use ketones better, and you're going to burn more fat. And yeah, we are going to talk about that
That's a big
future
one.
podcasts.
Yeah, that's a big
In
one.
future podcasts, but fasting is really amazing. So strength training, strength training. Oh, and one more thing that Mary wants me to talk about too. Stress hormesis. So we live in a constant stress. You are stressed while you're driving at traffic. You are stressed with a million emails that come to your computer every day. You are stressed because your dog pooped in the living room at the time you are leaving, at the time you are supposed to be leaving to work. You are stressed because someone is sick and dying. You are stressed because you're grieving. You are stressed because you are sick. You are stressed because you didn't sleep well, whatever. We are stressed, period. So it's really important to release this stress. It's really important to do strategies that will allow you to just, you know, breathe out all the stress and calm down, which you're going to talk about this in next episodes about the vagus nerve techniques for releasing stress. But since we're talking about strategies that are related to moving your body, there are three strategies that are really good for which were called stress hormesis. They produce stress, but it's a good stress that is releasing substances in your body that allows you to get better. So one is the high intensity interval training, which is doing push-ups, pull-ups, until the point you can't do it anymore, until failure. Another one would be cold showers, which I have done since I was younger because of my mom. So I'm going to tell the story super fast. I always loved taking long showers, warm, hot, long showers. But in Brazil, the shower was electric, and sometimes my long showers would burn the resistance of the shower. And if the shower would not be warm anymore. So my mom would, as a punishment, she would say, I'm not buying a new shower until next week. So I had to take that cold shower, freezing
Wow.
shower, nothing, no warm. Yes, she could be mean sometimes. But you know what? Everything that happens in life happens for us, not to us. Thank God I learned to get freezing cold
So
showers.
good for you. Yeah, she was good for you.
Yeah, so freezing cold showers are really good because they are a stress hormesis technique that allows you to release the stress and also activates a transformation from white fat, which is detrimental, to brown fat, which is positive for your body. And we're going to talk about that, which is an intermediate fat called bright fat. And also increases the production of brown fat in your body. And brown fat is thermogenic, and brown fat burns energy, and brown fat burns calories, and brown fat and so cold showers. Do I want you to take 30 minutes of cold showers? No, not at all. I don't do that. Only when I was younger because of my mom. What I do is, and what is advocated is, you take your shower, and in your last 3 minutes, you do 3 minutes of cold shower. So you go to the cold temperature and you do 3 minutes. Are you going to do 3 minutes tomorrow? No, you're not. So you do 30 seconds and then you get used to that, and then you do 1 minute. So increase exponentially. And sauna is also a very good thing that has been proven to be beneficial for your body. And we're going to talk deeper on these things later on. Go ahead, Mary.
Well, I was thinking about the
After
hormesis.
all this,
Well, I was thinking about hormesis too, because I think that the idea behind that is it mimics our ancestral
yep,
challenges, if you will.
yep,
So like, hunter-gatherers sprinting for, getting away from the lion, or sprinting toward
yep,
food or whatever, and then cold. We've gotten as a society so comfortable that it to our detriment in some ways. So I just think that's kind of interesting. That's sort of the idea behind it, is we're kind of trying to
yep,
mimic what our ancestors dealt with, and it
yep.
helped us to evolve. So I don't know, just thought that
And
was kind of
she
an
said,
interesting
and she
aside.
added another one really awesome, sprinting. We are mimicking our ancestors, and sprinting is another strategy. We're going to
Exactly.
talk later on. Yeah.
Yes,
And
yes.
after all this sprinting, stress hormesis, what do we do next, Mary?
Well, I think this one will be pretty easy for you all who are listening, is optimizing your sleep. Sleep is so critical on every level. Getting, optimizing your sleep and trying to get enough sleep, enough REM sleep, enough deep sleep, being in bed long enough, trying to establish a pattern, a routine that is, the same every day, no matter if it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, or Wednesday. It all kind of, having the same routine, and creating a bedtime routine, a wind down routine, trying to turn off blue light, maybe dim your lights at nighttime, as the sun is going down, so that it sends a signal to your body that it's time to wind down, and it increases the melatonin, and and get your body ready for sleep. So preparing for sleep, making sure that you're in bed long enough to get enough sleep. For me personally, I have to be in bed for almost 9 hours in order to get 7.5 or 8 hours sleep. I'm a bit of a restless sleeper, but but I know that about myself. And so I have a bedtime routine. I go to bed at the same time. I wake up at the same time. I don't, well, I put my phone, away at say 8 o'clock, and I try not to look at it for the rest of the night. And then I read, a couple of pages. Everybody has their own routine. You can find what works for you. They even say that just the act of going around and turning out your lights, or doing, whatever you do as you're closing up your house, your body knows that it's getting ready for sleep. So you do those things, you wind down, you maybe read a little, maybe you practice gratitude, maybe you do a quick meditation, a little breath work. Just take a deep breath. I'm talking so fast, maybe I need to take a deep breath. But you take a deep breath and your body relaxes, and you make sure that your room, if you can, is nice and dark, and nice and cool. I think that the temperature that is ideal for sleeping is around 65, 65, 68, I think 65. Um, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Just making sure you have a bedtime routine and you have enough time in bed, and that you wind down and you minimize blue light. Um, I don't know if I'm leaving anything out with that, Anna. I don't think so, but optimizing
No.
your sleep is huge. So,
Yes.
oh, and grounding, I didn't say, yeah, there was, when you can, one of the things that I like to do is when Anna was talking about sun and looking at the sun in the morning, I go out into my backyard, with where my lawn furniture is, or whatever. I sit with my feet in the grass when I'm looking at the sun, stacking habits, and looking at
Yep.
the sun, and then I meditate after that. But um, yeah, so grounding, getting your feet in the grass, connecting with the earth, and so soothing and so calming, and the energy, it impacts you and sets you up for just a great day. So
It works like, what's that thing? I forgot the word in English. When you turn something in your outlet and you put on the floor, so then the electricity is um, kind of zero, something like that. I forgot the word. I'm so very sorry. But when you are grounding, it's the same thing. You are just like all your energy you are releasing and being transferred to the earth, right? So you can research that too. It's really, really interesting how it is healing. It's a healing technique to your body. And another healing technique that we practice, Mary and I invite all of you to practice, is a technique of gratitude. And we are going to talk about gratitude in the next episodes, but like, just be grateful. Just be grateful for the sun, because it brings you a warm sensation and it allows you to, you know, take care of your sleep and your body and your hormones. Just be grateful for the food and the farmers, because it's nourishing your body. And be grateful for, water, clean water and electrolytes and no chlorine. Be grateful for your showers and the cold water, recharging your energy, and the grounding, releasing the energy that doesn't belong. And be grateful for being able to walk and build your muscles and build your bones and work in your brain and your memory and your cognition. And yeah, on that, we kind of rewrapped everything, and we are grateful for everything. And I am grateful for Mary, my dear friend and my accountability partner, and for each one of you, my dear friends and my accountability partners. And I am grateful to be here, and I'm grateful to be alive, and it's an honor. And I am grateful to be here with you, living.
with grace. With
Yes.
grace. And I am grateful too. Gratitude is the door we walk through to abundance. Gratitude brings more gratitude, brings more gratitude, brings more gratitude. It's contagious, and it just makes your life so abundant. And so, again, I'm grateful for my friend Anna, and my partner Anna, and my accountability Anna, partner Anna. And I'm grateful for all of you for tuning in and being with us and spending some time with us. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. And until next time, I wish you all lots and lots of love and peace and grace. Until next time, bye-bye.